So this is gonna be the first video of this time for real series of videos of me following the 12-week course of the Artist Way. Yes, cheesy, everybody's doing it, and I tried to do it before, and I documented up to week 7 on TikTok. I got to week 8 or 9, and then I stopped because I got busy. Life got busy. But this time I think what happened last time is I was in a very dark place. Not only mentally, but like my life has been thrown upside down, dealing with asylum and war and all that, and still watching Palestinians, my people, Palestinians and Lebanese people, get bombed every day. So still recovering with that, still recovering from the world not seeing us as humans and all that. But I'm in a better place mentally in order to help people. I needed to help myself, so I'm trying to do that. Also, it's Ramadan, so I am, other than reading the Quran and praying and doing all you can do in Ramadan, which is a very good spiritual cleansing journey, kind of resets the clock for you to be spiritual throughout the rest of your year, not just Ramadan. But I thought I want to be closer to God by by doing the Artist Way. In a way, that's my way of praying. That's my way of being closer to God. I've always, for the past 2 years, I keep going through things that nobody I know has been through. Nobody had to be a refugee in the specific circumstances that I have been. I am very blessed with how my life is. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm like going through war. No, like but I did go through some struggles. I'm not gonna deny those, and it's very hard as a Palestinian to not compare your struggles to other Palestinians. So, and I have been neglecting my own mental health and my own safety and my own self-care because I'm seeing all these Palestinians struggle. But then it got to a point where I was so depleted and burnt out, I can't even help anybody. I can't even open my social media. I can't even work to donate, to help. So I was useless, and this is not useful for them, let alone for me. So in order for me to be useful for my people, I need to find myself. I need to be my own artist again. And I don't think I can be my old self, so I have to be someone new. I have to be, not necessarily look for myself in order to, like, I don't think there's like a specific performative version of myself that I need to make. I just need to learn whom I've become in the past few years. Because of my struggles, I didn't have time to do that. I was basically surviving. This is hard. I'm having a hard time breathing while talking for videos. That's also another problem why I haven't posted on social media for the longest time, is because I thought I don't know how to be myself in front of the camera. I have to omit some things. I have to omit where I'm from, what I believe in, what I think. I'm a very political being. I was born out of political circumstances. There is no way I can separate myself from politics, and I deeply have passion for politics. I did not study it. I did not want to, but I've read a lot of politics throughout my life, and I still read a lot of politics books. So I know a lot about the topic, but I feel like I don't necessarily have the opportunity to have those conversations as an Arab, because wherever you go, people are going to be like, I don't want to hear about this right now. Or you're going to be in actual danger if you talk about politics, especially on social media. So in a way, I've kind of made peace with the fact that me being political and me being an artist are the same thing. And separating the two is probably why I lost myself as an artist. I was not able to find something to write about that is just heartbreak and exes and all that. But like, I'm more than that. But I can't write about it. I feel like I have blocked that subconsciously and actively. Just like, I don't talk about that, even within myself. And so I'm slowly letting myself have those conversations and have those controversial conversations, not just politics, like economy, literature, anything substantial as a topic, and not just, I don't know, gossip or boys or whatever. And I do write heartbreak, and I think heartbreak is a strong feeling to write music about and make art about. But heartbreak can be so many things, and I'm heartbroken because I'm haven't been able to see my family for a very long time because of war and seeking asylum and doing all that, which was very hard, and it is very hard. So I decided to do the artist way about a year ago, and then I stopped by week 9 because I kind of prioritized survival and looking for a job than to actually make art. And I wasn't convinced that I can make art and make a living at the same time, or make a living out of my art. So I'm in a safer space now, because after one thing they don't tell you, and one thing a lot of governments don't know, is that when people apply for asylum, they actually are seeking asylum. They are in a state of fear all the time. So I was in a state of survival and fear for years before that. And when I did that, I was still in that state of I'm afraid for my life. I can't set roots anywhere. I'm terrified of living. So everybody's around me is living, is going through the steps of living, and I'm just not. So I lost the sense of safety. And the Palestinian artist Nemesis Nama, she said it best, like, birds sing when they're safe, and I wasn't safe. So I can't be an artist if I'm not safe. And I was struggling. I have to create because I'm getting old, but then when I force myself to create, I don't make anything, and then I hate myself for doing that, and then the cycle goes on and on. So I allowed myself in the past few months to just be, just be a normal person. It's okay to get a normal job. It's okay to do normal things, and it's okay to come home and just play video games and read, and no pressure. You don't have to read it for homework. You don't have to read it for a book club. You just read it. And so I've been reading fiction again, and even reading politics again, and anything. I'm just reading it because I feel like it's a hobby. I don't think as musicians and as artists we realize that our art doesn't become a hobby for a long time. It becomes our job, and then we start to resent it. So I allowed myself to do whatever I need to do. And actually, my therapist suggested I just, even when anxiety attacks come, just let them happen, which is counterintuitive. But I started doing that. I just started to lie down and be like, okay, do it. Just do whatever. Let me have it. And I have it. It goes through my body. And actually, ironically, when I tell my body that, yes, I'm allowing this anxiety attack to exist, it goes away very quickly. If I try to channel my compassion towards it better, it kind of like, oh, well, you're not resisting me. I don't need to be here, actually. I'm here because you're resisting me. But if you're letting me be here, I'm just gonna calm down, which happens a lot. A lot of times also it doesn't. It needs to let it out, which also happens. And I let myself cry. I let it happen. It's fine. But yeah, it's been interesting. I've come to the realization after I felt like, okay, I'm safe right now. There's no one is coming after me. No one is hurting me, actively trying to hurt me. My family is safe. I hope. I have to check on them every day to make sure, because my family is everything to me. And the worst thing anybody abroad can feel is watch their family through a screen the whole time and not know how long they have with them and when they're gonna see them again. But beside that point, and that could be another video to talk about that, and I haven't been talking about that. I have been pretending that I'm just like this normal girl on the internet, just like all those content creators, but I'm not. I am not just an artist. I'm a freaking Palestinian Lebanese person who's seeking asylum somewhere far away from their family, and they are very, very homesick, and that's okay. I'm not used to being that far away from my family. I usually go to school and then visit in the summers or visit after I finish school. This has been very, very hard. I'm very, very close with them. My sister and my brother are like my friends, my best friends. My mom is my best friend, and I'm just watching them over a screen, and it's hard. So yeah, it makes sense that I haven't been making art and haven't been posting every day to promote my music. Well, I'm sorry, but I think I have more pressing things to do. Mind you, the financial struggles are real, because what do you mean you just can't find a job despite you going to prestigious schools and stuff like that? In this economy, it's fucking insane. Like, it's unreasonable how long you have to wait to get a job. In this economy, it was very hard to face the reality that no matter what you studied, no matter what you did, no one is gonna look at your resume. Nobody's looking at resumes. You cold call, they tell you apply online, and that is also another video to deal with. But eventually I was like, okay, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I need to make do with what I have. And so I applied to work at a bookstore, and I'm actually never been happier because I learned to live slow. I learned to take things slow, to just go to work, finish work, not think about work, to appreciate books even more than I've had before. But now I'm just seeing all these people who come and buy a book and they're like, this changed my life, or I'm reading this on this vacation, or I like this genre, and discussing books and discussing art has become such a healing experience that I felt brave enough to redo the artist way. So do the artist way. I have done it before, so I did have a journal to do my morning pages, and I got another one because I finished the other one before. And I got into the habit of it even after I stopped doing the artist way. I continued doing that, but I noticed that I ramble a lot in my pages, and I sometimes rile myself up, or I get angry in my pages, and there's nobody to stop me. I'm just like going at it. So I'm gonna be more intentional with my writing now, and more positive. Not that the negative is bad. I do need to let it out, but I do tend to get into my own head and tend to be very angry at little things. Instead of actually getting angry at the little things, I need to ask the questions of why am I triggered by this more often. So, and last time I did it on the digital version of The Artist Way, but now that I have a bookstore available to me at all times, I bought the actual book, and it's the 30-year edition, so it's actually pretty one. It's gonna be interesting. Knowing a lot of the things I know, I'm gonna make sure I'm more intentional this time about it, and maybe I'll reread my old exercises and pages to see how how I did and how I changed last year to now. So I'm like, oh yeah, in the summer I'm gonna reach out to a bunch of festivals and go work as a technician there. But I'm like, I want to be on the stage. I want to be on the stage during those festivals. I do not want to be in the back. And it's fun. I'm don't get me wrong, I love doing sound work, but that's not what I want right now. I think I am no longer, well, a bit, but I'm no longer like stressing on, I'm getting old, I need to make it in the music industry. I make it when I make it. And there's no such thing as making it, especially in an industry where I don't have much respect to these days anyway. Like, I'm just gonna make music for people to enjoy. If people want me to perform for them, then let's do it. If they just want to enjoy my music online, let's do it. Like, I'm not gonna go very annoying about it. But it's my vision of what I want to do is getting clearer and clearer, and I'm glad I'm doing it now as an adult with a frontal lobe than as a teenager or as a someone in their early 20s where they have no idea what they're doing, because I did not. Although she had more passion back then, I still think I'm much happier and much more solid now. If somebody offers me a record deal now, I'm going to be very, very skeptical and very, very perceptive of everything. And also I know now that I don't need it. So here's to my journey for the artist way, doing it right this time on YouTube, because I don't care. This is not for you guys, this is for me. And if you're with me on it, you're more than welcome. I really hope to create a safe space for people like me. I'm I'm open for anybody, but every struggle I go through, I have no reference. Like, I'd have, like, you can go on the internet or on Reddit and be like, anybody went through this? Nobody went through this. So if you have the same experience of you're going through something and you don't know where to go to know if there's a happy ending in the end and if this is gonna work out, you can be here, because this is limbo right there. We don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, at this point, like, I don't have a mentor. I wanted a coach or a mentor, somebody to teach me, somebody who's been through it to help me, and all that resulted to is me being the person I've always needed, my inner child always needed. So I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna do that for my future self and for my younger self. I'm doing this. This is the first step into, I don't know, building some sort of community that hasn't been made before, because I looked everywhere. There's nowhere for me. And so this is my space, and this is your space if you relate.